All right, time to talk to Sonia at Bryant Insurance Agency, and today we have a question from one of our listeners.
Yes, I have recently been asked a couple of different questions about the same subject. One of those is if I have a party and there is alcohol served at my party, do I need any kind of special insurance? And the other question I've had is if I have a business and either I sell drinks by the glass, if I have a bar, or if I have retail sales of beer, wine, or alcohol, do I need special insurance? So I thought we would discuss liquor liability today.
Well, since it's something that's been passed recently here in Graham, business owners might need to listen up.
Right, yes, with the recent passing of the where it's now allowed for for businesses to have retail sales of beer and wine. That's something new that we haven't had in Graham before, and so that question has come up. The first thing I want to say is I'm talking in general terms here. All insurance policies are not the same, so to get any specific questions about your situation answered, just give us a call at the office or talk to your insurance agent. The first thing that I want to address is the first question that I've had asked of me, and that is an individual. If I have a party and I have alcohol there, do I need special insurance? Well, the general rule of thumb, again, we're talking about standard policies, and you need to ask your insurance agent for sure. But typically, as long as you are not in the business of selling alcohol, so you have it at your home or this party that you're throwing, if it's just a part of the refreshments that you're serving, then typically your homeowner's insurance and your umbrella policy should provide you liability coverage if you become legally liable because of someone who has an accident, causes bodily injury or property damage because they've had too much to drink. So that's the first answer to the question is typically you should have protection under your personal insurance if you're not charging for those drinks.
One of the things that I think is a little confusing, possibly, is that the laws of Texas, liquor laws and things like that, are very, very strange because they have a lot on the books. How does insurance just kind of go about covering all those different things?
Well, that's a good question. And, there's the law, which is one thing, and then there is if you can become liable if you are negligent in the serving of alcohol. Now, the last time that I checked, and I'm not a lawyer and don't pretend to be, but as of the last time that I checked, Texas law does not require a bar or a retail business to carry liquor liability insurance. Now, that just means that there is no law. For example, we have a law in Texas that if you drive a vehicle, you must carry liability insurance. Well, I do not believe that there is a law in Texas that says that if you sell alcohol that you have to carry liquor liability, but that does not mean that you would be protected from a lawsuit if something happened. We've heard the stories, and I actually have a client, and they're not from anywhere around here, have a client that had a convenience store with beer and wine. A gentleman entered their convenience store, this was several years ago, entered their convenience store, purchased some beer, left, that did not consume it on the property. Later on that evening, went on to be responsible for a very serious accident where someone was injured very, very seriously and another person died. My client, as one of the people that sold them alcohol, was brought into a lawsuit because the family of the injured person found out all the places that they had been and had a lawsuit against every one of them. And fortunately for my client, they had a videotape surveillance and proved that the person, when they came in to purchase the beer, was not intoxicated in any way, so they were not found liable. However, they had insurance that helped them defend that lawsuit. So those are some things you have to think about.
That's one of the things that if you're a business or an individual, you need to probably think about these things because the event of something happening, you want to make sure that you are covered because, like with the Texas laws and things going like that, it's very, very confusing. It's best to have yourself covered.
That's right. And, you think, well, how could it be my fault if I'm selling for off-premise consumption? And so that's, what we talked about there was that one example. You also could have one of your employees that sells liquor to somebody who is underage. Maybe they have a false ID and they don't realize it, or they don't check for proper ID. So there's just all kinds of things that can happen that when you add the selling of beer, wine, and liquor, that can happen. So you just want to make sure you're covered, that first of all, you do follow all those Texas laws and regulations, that you get the training, you get the licensing that's required. But also think about, a lot of times with a lawsuit, it's not if you did something wrong, it's proving that you did not do something wrong, and that's called defense coverage. If you have to hire a lawyer to go, prove that you didn't do anything wrong. So if you are a business that sells liquor, whether it's by the glass at a bar or for retail sales, you really need to think about your insurance exposure. Again, I'm talking in general terms, but you can call us at the office and talk to us, or talk to your insurance agent and find out what coverage you have and what coverage you might need.
If folks need to call and find out that information, what's the numbers and how do they get a hold of you?
Okay, well, you can always call us, 940-549-2525. You can come see us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank Building in downtown Graham, or you can look us up on the web, www.bryanins.com.
Stay tuned. We have more coming up here on Your Liquor Leader. And thank you for that. If you have any questions you would like to ask Sonia of Bryan Insurance, you can always call us here at 549-1330, and we'll be more than happy to get those on. Stay tuned. More coming your way.